Welcome to Week in IT, your weekly AI narrated roundup of the top enterprise tech news written by the real live human editors of Converge 360. I'm your host, Gladys Rama, and we've got a lot of news to cover today, so let's dive right in. First up, as we reported on RedmondMag.com, security researchers at Ontinyu's Cyber Defense Center have uncovered a complex phishing attack targeting Microsoft Teams users. The multi-stage cyber attack leveraged social engineering, remote access tools, and signed binaries to infiltrate networks. It begins with voice phishing through Teams' external messaging to deliver malicious PowerShell payloads. Once a target is tricked into running the script, attackers use Microsoft Quick Assist to gain remote access. What makes this attack particularly concerning is the use of signed binaries like TeamViewer alongside malicious dynamically linked libraries, or DLLs, allowing attackers to evade many endpoint detection systems. The tactics closely resemble those of a threat actor known as Storm 1811, previously documented by Microsoft. This sophisticated approach demonstrates how attackers are increasingly using generative AI tools, in this case, AI-generated voices, highlighting why organizations can't rely solely on employee vigilance as their last line of defense against these evolving threats. Next, if you've been following our coverage of the current AI gold rush on pureai.com, you already know that the market is worth many, many billions. AI leader OpenAI just upped the ante, announcing a staggering $40 billion funding round, led by SoftBank Group that brings its value to $300 billion. This is the largest private capital funding round in tech history, nearly doubling OpenAI's valuation from just 6 months ago and placing it among the world's most valuable private companies. SoftBank will invest $7.5 billion, along with $2.5 billion from other investors, with the remaining $30 billion expected by year's end. Interestingly, $20 billion of this funding is contingent on OpenAI restructuring to become a fully for-profit corporation by the end of 2025. OpenAI plans to use all this fresh capital to scale compute infrastructure, advance AI research, and support product growth. Speaking of growth, according to OpenAI, ChatGPT now has 500 million weekly active users and 20 million paid subscribers. On the developer front, courtesy of ADTMag.com, a new report from Perforce Software shows a slowdown in Java developer hiring plans for 2025. Only 51.8% of surveyed organizations plan to add Java developers this year, down from 60% in 2024. Similarly, just 34% expect to increase their budgets for developer tools, a sharp decline from 42% last year. As developers face growing pressure to do more with less, the report suggests that investments in stable tooling and modular architectures may be more beneficial than headline-grabbing AI solutions that aren't mature enough to reduce developer workloads yet. Next, some more dev news from Visual Studio Magazine. Microsoft has launched the new Visual Studio Hub, creating a one-stop shop for all resources related to the popular IDE. This centralized site streamlines access to resources, updates, and features within the Visual Studio ecosystem that were previously scattered across various platforms. The hub offers information on the newest features, upcoming events, expert insights, and links to Microsoft Learn and community sites. GitHub Copilot resources are prominently featured, including videos on topics ranging from prompting to what's being called vibe coding, along with expert tips and recent updates. You all know about vibe coding from last week's episode, but if you missed it, check out the Week in IT playlist. Finally, as we reported on Virtualization and Cloud Review, the cloud giant AI wars are heating up with Google announcing its Gemini 2.5 model and Amazon countering with the launch of Amazon Nova Act for running AI in the browser. Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental is one of the new thinking models with advanced reasoning and planning abilities, often called agentic AI. It excels at creating web apps and handling code transformation, scoring 63.8% on an industry standard for agentic code evaluations. The model supports a 1 million token context window and can process text, audio, images, video, and code. Meanwhile, Amazon has expanded access to its Nova AI ecosystem with a new website and the Nova Act model for running AI in the browser. The Nova family now includes various models like Nova Micro, Lite, Pro, Canvas, and Real, each catering to different needs like text processing and video generation. Both companies are focusing heavily on agentic AI capabilities. enabling developers to build systems that can autonomously perform tasks according to human instructions. This technology is poised to transform how we interact with computers and applications in the near future, and we at Converge 360 will be following it closely. That wraps up this week's episode of Week in IT. Make sure to check the description box for direct links to all of the articles discussed today, and tune in next week for another quick roundup of the most important news in enterprise tech. Thanks for listening.